Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Renton Reflects. I may not be a huge fan of anime, but I still have my respect for it, particularly in the innovations and experimentations it has gone through ever since it first existed in the early 20th century. This anime film from 1985 is just one example of those experimentations, at least from my perspective. The story involves a 17-year-old teenager nicknamed Bobby, who's a motorcycle enthusiast. He had recently appeared in a magazine article which covered his motorcycle travels. A young girl about his age happens to come across that article and decides to write him a letter. Bobby receives that letter and writes back, starting off a letter exchange between the two. All the while, Bobby tries to figure out what he wants to do with himself after his high school graduation. There isn't a whole lot that can be said about this relatively obscure anime film. Matter of fact, I haven't found much information regarding the making behind it. I will say, though, that I do like the stylistic choices in the art direction, the music, and the atmospheric settings, giving off that distinctive 1980s vibe without necessarily making it dated. I also like the hint of romance in the letter exchanges. If I had to nitpick, I felt kind of mixed on the story and some of its pacing issues. Plus, there isn't much personality to come out of the characters. Also, without giving away the ending, it's not exactly a happy one. In fact, it kind of ends on a rather vague note. Looking back on the film as a whole, I see it as somewhat of an experiment to see what could be done with certain techniques of animation, like the use of the pencil sketch style in a few scenes. Such techniques reminded me of a few music videos released around that time that included animation in them, like this one music video called Take On Me. That has a magnificent use of the pencil sketch style of animation. Even if this anime film doesn't place a heavy emphasis on story and character development, it still visually looks great, particularly in the scenes where Bobby takes his motorcycle out on the road. Though I might not personally rank this anime film as one of the best that I've ever seen, I still commend the filmmakers for their effort. If you're ever curious, you can find it on YouTube. Check it out and see some really underrated animation. If I were to rate this anime film on a scale between 1 and 10, I'd give it a 6. It's mostly okay, but still looks really nice. And that, ladies and gentlemen, has been my review. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.